kind of quiet. Amen. Hallelujah. Right there. Oh, good to see everybody tonight. And let's just take our hymn books and we sing our first song. John, what was that page? 125. All right, 125 in the Soul Stirring book. Amen. Good to see everybody tonight. Praise the Lord for a good day. Thank the Lord for the low humidity. Amen. For all that gets done. Thank you, Lord. All right, 125 for Solid Rock.
We fall short, we fall out of place, God. We just lean to you, God, to just trusting you, God, to just have favor with us, Lord, and show your mercy and your grace. And God, help us find our way back to you. God, help us to just see the light, Lord, which is your Son, Jesus Christ. Lord, help us, God, to be more pleasing unto you. Lord, help us to just seek to do your will more in our lives. Lord, I pray for this service tonight, God, to anoint everything that's done here tonight. Lord, speak to our hearts, God, and give us what we stand in need of. We thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, 161. Our great Savior. Amen.
Yes, sir.
161.
Faith, faith.
one of the great preachers of years ago. I just got a feeling he had a real insight into who this man was. I like those last words, those on the last line: saving, helping, keeping, and loving. I've experienced every one. Hallelujah, brother. Praise the Lord.
Amen. Young, we said, I love that word, keeping. Amen. Paul said, I'm persuaded that he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. Amen. Thank God we serve an able Savior. Amen. If he wasn't able, he'd have lost me a long time ago. How about you? Good to see everybody in church. Y'all glad you're saved? Say amen. Hallelujah. Boy, it is good to see Brother Jeremy and Miss Kelly tonight. Good to see Dwayne, little head there somewhere. Amen. Good to have them in church tonight. Hope you've had a good week. Appreciate our kids showing up, and appreciate the Lord showing up and helping them out last night. And praise the Lord for that. Amen. And I asked Brother Jesse if it's okay with him. Teenagers, I want y'all staying here with us tonight. And I really don't know why. The Lord just impressed on my heart. We ought to stay in here with us. I don't know. Hadn't really prepared a message for you, but usually I found out that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it'll work for us old people, it'll work for you too. If it'll work for the young people, it'll work for us old folks too. Amen. And it is good to see you in church tonight. Thank everybody from the depths of my heart for praying for my mother. They released her this afternoon. She is out of the hospital and back at the condo with Edwina and Sister Linda. That doctor told her wasn't nothing wrong with her heart, but the company she is keeping. Amen. I said, anybody have a heart attack hanging out with them two? Amen. Brother Dennis and David back there about to shout. Amen. So anyway, thank y'all so much for praying for her, and just pray the Lord to just watch over her blood pressure's back down to normal. I guess her blood thinner stuff got all out of whack, and her blood was way too thin. That's why she's coughing up blood. And so anyway, they got all that regulated and doing better. So I really, really appreciate your prayers. Amen. Let's have our ushers right quick. Brother David will receive this evening's offering. Man, God been good to you. I didn't get enough help right there. Has God been good to you? I just got a sneaky feeling we could have meeting tonight if we wanted to. Amen. That singing was wonderful. I like that. Both of those songs, Brother Charles. Good job tonight. On Christ is solid. Rock I stand. All other ground is sinking, sinking. Reckon where you're standing tonight. Amen. Let's bow our heads and bless the Lord. Bless the offering. Please pray for a dear family, friend of ours, Brother J.P. Denton and his wife Frederica. Their son David passed away on Sunday night. And just please pray the Lord be with that family. Brother David had a stroke about 10 years ago. He used to be Brother Williams' boss when he worked at the medical place. And we've just known him all our lives. Brother hauled the church on the bus for years. And Brother J.P., who is a deacon now, right down here at Gateway, when he testifies, he talks about how God used my mother and Jay Bice to bring him to the Lord. And he was always a baseball coach growing up. But anyway, Brother David had a stroke, like I said, about 10 years ago. And then Sunday, talked to Donnie, his younger brother. He's my age. He went to the hospital on Sunday, and they told him his organs were shutting down, and they thought it might be kind of a long, drawn-out process. He went home Sunday night, went to bed, and somewhere in his sleep, he just went on home to be with the Lord. Amen. So I appreciate the Lord's mercy right there. But pray for that family, all right? So let's bow our heads and we'll pray. And I'm going to ask Brother Drew, why don't you ask the Lord to bless the offering?
Lord, I come to you tonight, and I just thank you for allowing us to be able to walk into your house tonight, being able to worship you and praise you. And I just ask you to be with Brother Eddie tonight. He has a message for us, Lord, and I ask you, whatever he has for us, that we all receive it in a way that we can use it, Lord. And I just thank you for allowing me to have a wonderful week at my new job and just keeping me safe and just allowing me to let the language that these guys have go through one ear and out the other, Lord, and just allow me to stay strong in my walk and keep my faith strong with you. And I thank you for allowing the youth last night to be able to go out and sing. It was a huge blessing to me, Lord. And I just ask you to keep us all safe for the rest of the week, be with the service tonight, and just keep our faith strong for the rest of the week, Lord. And I ask you to be with this offering, and I ask these things in your holy precious name. Amen.
Amen.
I appreciate the good time and fellowship. Yes, Miss Kelly, you go right
I'm
ahead.
going to give a praise report on her. So on the breathing stuff, Katie Jane, she's been doing really good in the past week. I'm so I prepared for me just because I'm nervous. She had a relapse, about a month or so ago. But anyway, she's improving. So there's about 5 levels of breathing support right now. She's instead of the tracheostomy being the worst case scenario, she's on whatever this one called. So they're getting ready to try to transition her to the next one down. So she's about another 2 steps down. It will take a while, but then she should be ready to come home. And it would be awesome.
Hey, I know it's been some time now. She's what, a little over 2 months, 2.5 months?
2 months and almost 11 pounds.
2 months and almost 11 pounds. And you kind of tend to forget if you're not careful. Listen, we need to pray. If anything, we need to ramp it up, pray harder. And she just keep improving every single day. Amen. Good to see Brother Taylor and Miss Sarah Joe slipped in right there. We get married here 2-3 weeks. September is it 15th?
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Sarah Jo, you still got time. You got time to run. Everybody around here can tell you something about that gospel. Amen. No, I'm kidding. We're praying for you. It'll be a great day. Amen. Listen, let's worship the Lord tonight. I know it's Wednesday. I know the kids got school tomorrow and all that good stuff. But let's give the Lord just a little time tonight. Worship Him. Amen. Now go ahead and sing whenever you're ready.
All of it.
His name is wonderful. It's not just wonderful, His name is wonderful. Isaiah said His name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Prince of Peace. Hallelujah. Mark chapter number 6 tonight. Good to be saved, ain't it? There is a sweet spirit in church tonight. And this is the kind of service where God can do something to change your life. And don't think you're fooling me or the Lord just because you're a faithful Wednesday night crowd doesn't mean you don't need help. Amen. So I'm trying to figure out where it is I want to start reading tonight. I've got a lot of scripture, Mark chapter number 6. Let's see, I don't know. I guess we're going to start around verse number 30, 31. Yeah, verse number 30, that'll work. Mark chapter number 6. When you're there, say amen. Amen. The Bible said the apostles gathered themselves together unto Jesus and told Him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. I want you to stop right there. Just pause for a minute and just suffice it to say this. You can read your Bible a little bit. They've been busy. They've been busy. Been a lot going on. Let me tell you something. That's not a bad thing.
That's right.
Let me say it again. It's not a bad thing to be busy. Busy people don't get in trouble too often. Amen. So they've been busy. If you ever get to a point to where you feel like you've been so busy that you're just about wrung out, every now and then it's good to have a break. Say amen right there. I was putting together furniture yesterday, and Levi was there, and Mason, they were helping me. And Mason was helping me get the stuff out of the box, all the pieces, and we got everything laid out on the floor. And he said, let's put it together. I said, Papa needs a break. My back's hurting. And he said, I need a break too. My elbow hurts. Ain't got nothing to do with the message, but we need a break. And apparently my 5-year-old grandson did too, or 4-year-old, however old he is, and he started helping me put that thing together. I said, man, you're smart. He said, I know. I said, I bet you're smarter than you're teaching. He said, no, she's got a book. Miss Jennifer's his teacher, amen. But every now and then you just get busy, and sometimes you do need to stop and take a break. A break doesn't, I don't know, I'm going to get off tonight, I'm being careful. A break don't mean you quit. Breath means you get you, a break means you get your breath and a fresh perspective. Amen. Don't mean you go on vacation and come back sorry. Well, take a break and get excited and get going back. Amen. So anyway, I'm just trying to say they've been busy. And you know what? The Lord recognizes that. And He said unto them in verse 31, come ye yourselves apart unto a desert place, and what? Rest a while. Come apart to a desert place. Let's get out of town, boys. That's what He said. Sometimes vacation will wear you out, won't it? Anybody know what I'm talking about? You go to Disney World or Gatlinburg or some of them places like that where there's so much to do, and you go harder on vacation than you do at home. But the Lord said, let's get out in the desert somewhere. And He's pretty sly. He knows what's going on. He knows the end from the beginning. But He said, let's just take a day off and rest. Amen? So they did. And the Bible said, for there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed into a desert place by ship privately. They snuck off. And it does you good to sneak off every now and then. And the people saw them departing, and many knew Him, and ran afoot thither out of all cities, and outwent them, and came together unto Him. And Jesus, when He came out, saw much people, and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd.
And he began to teach them many things. And when the day was far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away that they may go into the country round about the villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. So the day's far spent, so there went their off day. Would you agree? Have you ever been called in on your off day? Or you wound up having to do more on your off day than you did on your work day? It's kind of where they're at, and here's their solution. Get rid of them. Send that crowd to town, they're hungry. Could be that they might have a little attitude. This is supposed to be our day off. This is supposed to be our day. You said we got to rest. And now we've been ministering all day. We've been doing all day what we've been doing all month. Now, send them away. They had a good excuse, didn't they? Yes. They ain't got nothing to eat. Send them away so they made it look like they hadn't had pity on them. I don't really think they did. And he answered and said unto them in verse 37, And give ye them to eat? And they say unto him, Shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread and give them to eat? And he saith unto them, How many loaves have ye? And go and see. And when they say, and when they knew, they say 5 and 2 fishes. We know about the lad and his lunch from other recordings. And the Bible said he commanded them to make them all sit down by companies upon the green grass. Then they sat down in ranks by hundreds, 50s, and when they had taken the 5 loaves, you know the story. They fed 5,000 plus women and children with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. I'd say that's a big deal, wouldn't you? I don't believe the Lord blessed it and all of a sudden there was just a mountain of fish and a mountain of bread. I believe if they started passing it out, it just never ran out. Kind of like that widow's oil in the meal in the barrel. It just kept giving and giving and giving and giving. Amen? So no doubt in my mind, these boys have seen a miraculous thing. Feeding 5,000 plus women and children. You figure, I mean, there's probably upwards of 10,000 or more. Probably. I'm just guessing. Could have been less. Could have been a lot more. They didn't have birth control back in the day. Might have been 20,000. I don't know. According to how many youngins they had. They had a bunch of kids back. But anyway, it's a miracle, wouldn't you say? Now, you just saw the Lord feed 5,000 people. Would you be excited? I mean, I'd be kind of stoked, wouldn't you? Be fired up. I'd be ready to go do something for God, wouldn't you? Come on. All right. So we know the story. They fed 5,000, and then they took up the fragments that remained. And let me see where I want to pick up in verse number 45. Verse 45. The Bible said, And straightway he constrained his disciples to get into the ship and go to the other side before unto Bethsaida, while he sent away the people. And when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray. And when even was come, the ship was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land. And he saw them toiling and rowing, for the wind was contrary unto them. And about the 4th watch of the night, he cometh unto them walking upon the sea. Another miracle. And would have passed them by, or passed by them. But when they saw him walking upon the sea, they supposed it had been a spirit and cried out. For they all saw him and were troubled. And immediately he talked with them and saith unto them, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And he went up unto them into the ship, and the wind ceased, and they were sore amazed in themselves beyond measure, and wondered. Now watch verse 52 very carefully. For they considered not the miracle of the loaves, for their heart was hardened. When they passed over, they came into the land of Gennesaret and drew to the shore. When they were come out of the ship, straightway they knew him and ran through that whole region round about and began to carry about in beds those that were sick, where they heard he was. So anyway, we're going to stop reading right there. We read a pretty miraculous story. And then Jesus says, while I send the people away. And in other words, what I'm trying to tell you is there has no time lapsed between the story of the 5,000 fed and the story of the disciples in a storm in the boat. They run together. Are you okay? We're still talking about the same day. We're not talking about a month or two down the road. We're talking about the same day. He said, y'all get in the boat, go to the other side while I send the people away. And he went apart into a mountain to pray alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? This wasn't a month after revival. This wasn't a month after camp meeting. This wasn't a year after seeing God do some great and mighty thing. It was the very same, you got to get this, the very same day. The evening or the night of that day. They find themselves in a storm. Matter of fact, every time God does something great in your life, it's usually met with some sort of trial or testing or a storm. Always after a great victory, you can expect a battle. You okay with that statement? Always after we see God do something great, you better keep your eyes open because the devil's coming down the road. Same day, the evening of the same day, they've just seen 5,000 plus women and children fed with 5 loaves and 2 fish. They get in the boat, the storm comes. Jesus comes walking on the water. He's walking on what they're afraid of. I love that song old Peg McCaney sang about them having the waves roll under his feet. Amen. I'm glad he can walk on my storm, aren't you? But he comes walking out in the midst of their storm, in the dark hour of their lives. And you know what he said? The Bible said they cried out. He said, hey, easy, easy, boys, it's me. Scared him to death. They supposed it to be a spirit. They just saw him a few minutes ago. They cried out. He said, don't be afraid. It's me. The Bible said in verse number 52, for they considered not the miracle of the loaves. I want you to pay close attention to this last phrase. And I'll preach a little thought to you tonight. For their heart was hard. For their heart was hard. If I had titled the message tonight, I believe I'd say, Forgetting the Feast. Forgetting the feast. Focusing on what's in front of you instead of what was just behind you. Focusing on the minor instead of the major. Are we okay? Their hearts were hardened. I think one of the greatest sins in the church is not drug abuse or alcohol abuse or adultery. And of course I know those things stick their greasy heads up from time to time. But I'm afraid sometimes because of pride, that's where it all stems from, but because of pride, sometimes we allow our heart to become hardened or callous, and that is a scary place to get in your Christian life. When your heart gets hard, you get to a place where you cannot be easily moved. You get to a place where you don't no longer know the voice of God. You no longer feel the presence of God. Sit on this platform sometimes on a Sunday morning while that choir starts to sing, or Ashley and Bill start to sing, and people start flocking to the altar and tears running down their face. And you look around this room, Brother Freddie, it never fails. There's a crowd sitting there with their arms crossed, null and void. Looks like they're on Prozac. Sometimes I want to run out and see if they in a coma. What happened? Somewhere along the line, we've allowed circumstance, we've allowed surroundings to harden our heart. Oh, God, give us a tender heart tonight. Teenagers, you're in here for a reason tonight. And if you don't think the devil can harden your heart, just like he can harden the hearts of the adult, you've got another thing coming. Hey, listen, girls, he'll take some greasy-headed boy and get your attention and get your mind off of God and the things of God, and he'll use that very thing, which is a good thing, to harden your heart. Amen. Are we okay? Seen teenagers harden their heart just as quick as I have adults. Maybe even more so. Because they are young. And they don't have a whole lot of experience. And they happen to live the Christian life for 30 years prior. They don't have a whole lot of experience in dealing with life and dealing with this flesh. And if you're not careful, God will harden your heart. I've watched this young man right here over the last few months, what God's done in his heart. And it seems like every other service, Brother Eddie, can I testify? Can I say something? I mean, man, just excited about God. Want to say something about the Lord. And man, I love watching somebody just get saved and get right and get on fire. But if he ain't careful, the devil of this world, he'll take the cares of this world and the cares of life, and he'll harden your heart. Many of you know what calluses are. My little brother sitting over here, he's taught guitar lessons for years, and well, he don't really anymore, but he used to. That was part of his job. He taught guitar lessons. He'll tell you, them little kids just starting out, they'll start learning those guitar chords, and their little fingers will be so tender that they can't even fret the chord. Why? Because it hurts. But the more they play, something forms on the end of those fingers. It's kind of like working, Micaiah. You know, them things that go across your hand right there. When you use a shovel for a few days, at first it hurts and you get blisters, but then them old blisters get hard, and it's called calluses. I think calluses are good for a young man. Amen. Amen. On your hands, but not on your heart. A heart ought to be as tender as an open wound, where God can reach down and touch at any given time, and we know He's there. We're not careful, we'll allow heartache, hurt feelings. God forbid somebody said something about you on Facebook. Somebody sat in my office one day, husband and a wife, man, they're going through it, about to divorce, and the woman said, well, I've just got walls built up. I said, tear them down, stupid. Amen. Get you a spiritual sledgehammer. Ask God for His help and tear the stinking walls down. Amen. If it's a wall hindering your marriage, if it's a wall hindering your walk with God, tear down the wall. Amen. I just have to stay with Reagan right there. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Amen. If we're not careful, we get our hearts calloused. I don't know how many times, Brother Jesse, I've had people tell me I'll never allow myself to get hurt like that again. That's not like Jesus at all, is it? They did Him wrong everywhere He went.
That's right. That's right.
But yet He just kept going. And He kept giving, He kept loving, and He kept healing. You know what happened? He didn't let the wickedness, He didn't let the cares of life callous His heart. And if we're not careful, we'll get a hard heart. And we'll sit in a place like this and we don't even know that God is present. Those disciples looked up and saw the Son of God walking on the water, and they didn't even know it was Him. Amen. I watch the Holy Spirit move through this place week after week, in and out of pews, up and down aisles. I'm talking about something real. I ain't talking about touchy-feely. I ain't talking about a bunch of emotionalism. I'm talking about the God of heaven showing up in this place. And people don't even know that He's here. People that ain't never been around it sit there and go, man, what's going on? Amen. The average Baptist wouldn't know the Holy Ghost, but met Him in the street. You're right. We okay? Amen. Not careful, we get our hearts just hard. Yes, sir. Calloused. I never want to get in the place where God can't touch my heart. Right. Where I can't feel His touch and I can't feel His nudge, even take His correction. Amen. Are we okay? They harden their heart. Their hearts were hardened. Now listen, most of the times the folks I deal with, it's been a process, Brother Jesse, of time that their hearts got hard. But I want you to notice something. There's no time involved here. They went straight from revival meeting. They went straight from the miracle of God to a hard heart. I don't want to say too much, but I have to wonder where their heart was when they got in the boat. That's right. Is that okay to ask? I just wonder. They just witnessed something great. The Bible said in verse number 52 that they considered not the miracle of loaves and fishes for the heart. Just because you had a great day Sunday doesn't guarantee you're going to have a great day Monday. Can I get a witness right there? In my experience, usually the greater day we had on Sunday, the tougher day it's going to be on Monday. Can I get a witness? Maverick. Yes, sir. The heart was hard. Maybe they still got an attitude because they didn't get their day off. Yeah. Right. Maybe they didn't get to go on their vacation. And they got a little upset. I don't know. I'm not making accusation. I'm just curious. That's what the Lord told them they was going to do. You ever felt like the Lord told you He was going to do one thing and it wound up being something totally different? He still knows best. I'd like to say that. I'd take that miracle over a day off anytime. I'd take the great move of God and seeing God do something wonderful in my life and the lives of others. I'd take that over a day off anytime. And we'd all say that till we had to cancel the motel. I've already got a room booked. Is that a bigger deal than the miracle of the loaves and the fishes?
Yeah.
Just for a few minutes tonight, I want to look at three things. The reason for a hard heart. What causes it? There's a lot of things, really. I could preach a series on what causes our hearts to get hard. The reasons for a hard heart. The results of a hard heart. I wonder how many of you don't raise your hand, but you know somebody and you don't doubt for a second they're saved, but their hearts become callous. I was joking with Sarah. I don't know where she's at. She's where? In the nursery. I was joking with Sarah. She was sitting at the piano Sunday night when I come in, and I always call her Sarah Jane, and she don't like it. That's why I call her Sarah Jane. But y'all don't do that. That's disrespectful. I do that, folks. I love her. Anyway, and I come in and I started to poke her in the ear. As soon as I walked up, stuck out my hand, she drew up and flinched. I said, "What are you flinching for?" She said, "I know you're going to do something." I said, "Now you don't know that." I said, let me show you what I was going to do. She said, no. She's just drawing all up. I said, seriously, just calm down. I'm going to show you. All I was going to do is pat you on the back and tell you what a blessing you are. She went, oh. I said, and then I was going to poke my finger in you. But I'm afraid that's the way we get as Christians sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Like a dog that's been kicked a lot.
Right.
Are you okay? We get just a little bit gun shy, don't we? There's a lot of things that can cause us to get callous and always expect the worst. The reasons for a hard heart. Let me give you this right quick. Now remember, it just happened. It just happened. The miracle just happened. It's that night of that day when they saw the miracle of the loaves and fishes. Let me say this. Number one, the reason for a hard heart is that they took divine things lightly. They took divine things lightly. Listen, class, it's Wednesday. 3 days ago. Not 3 months ago, not 3 years ago, Brother Freddie, 3 days ago. A little mother by the name of Emily, sitting Brother Robbie right where you are, came to this altar and got born again. A young lady by the name of Amber, sitting right there where Timothy is, came on this side of the altar and got born again. A young man by the name of Justin wandered in, at the end of the service Sunday night. Justin, sit right there where you are, John. The service was over and I was closing. Came to the altar. I believe it was BJ. Jesse, somebody came and prayed with him. You know what he said? He said, I'm just sitting at home thinking of how sick I am in my life. Something like that. He said, I'm going to get up and walk over at church. He said, I got to get something. I said, I wonder why he came in at the end. That's what he came for. He was under conviction when he got here. Now listen to me carefully. That is a big deal. Maybe the disciples had got to the place they had seen the Lord do so much. Remember, Brother Charles, the Bible said that the books could not contain. We only have a glimpse into 3.5 years of his life. The books can't contain all he did.
That's right.
If we're not careful, we'll get just like them. That's just Jesus. Another day in the life of following him around.
That's right.
Four people say, I forgot about the young girl out there in teen church. Left here Sunday before last so bad under conviction it was tearing her up. Came back this Sunday, got born again. Look back where you at. I saw you somewhere. Hey, he is. Ain't that something? That is a big deal. But it's Wednesday and you're over it.
You're right.
God forbid the Lord brings sinners in here on their way to a devil's hell. They come to the altar and get born again, and we sit there and go, well, amen. We see people get their lives cleaned up and their lives turned around. I'm going to go ahead and tell you in advance. We're going to stand on that platform if the Lord tarries between now and Sunday, and we're going to stand there and we're going to recognize Miss Crystal and give her a diploma, and she's going to graduate the program. I'm going to go ahead and shout and get mad. Why? It's a big deal. If we're not careful, we take God moving and working so lightly that we just get used to it. That's just Brother Eddie. I've been listening to him for 25 years. Ain't nothing new. People come to me every now and then with their Bible, and they'll say, look, you preached that before. I got it wrote down right here. I don't give a rip. If you didn't have it wrote down, you wouldn't know I preached it before. Sometimes it's been so long, I don't know I preached it before. It's a brand new. Driving down the road one day, I said, man, whoo, what a thought, man. I pulled over and wrote it down. I told my wife, look here, it's what I'm preaching. You just preached that not long ago. Well, I knew it was good, amen. I go somewhere to travel. Brother Jesse was with me in New York. That's something with it, brother. We had a good time. Man, we'll preach our heart out, and the altars just fill up. Now, I'm not complaining. Thank God the altars are used around here. I wish y'all responded to preaching like you do singing. Preach our hearts out. Amen. What if I laughed at you like that? Because I'm not making a joke, that's reality. God used to it. God help us. Let's don't ever get used to seeing God turn somebody's life around. Every time I see Drew, I get excited. Every time I see these ladies, I get excited. Every time I see Ashley Hawford, I get excited. Y'all okay? Where's your heads at, man? Some of y'all that's been around here for a while, dear Lord, think about what we've witnessed. Think about what we've seen. Some of these kids, Micaiah, how old are you, Micaiah? 19 years old. In 19 years, Brother Charles, he's seen more than some people that's been saved 50. I'm telling you the truth. Amen. People come here for the first time. Why did they do that to you? Well, that's because we know you. I know some stuff too. I still get excited, man. Amen. They took the things of God lightly. Amen. How was service today? Oh, it's pretty good. That poor thing. Pretty good? Thank you, Steve. Pretty good? I know some people in the hills of Kentucky right now, they'd give anything to see 4 people saved. They'd give anything to see 4 people. I'm serious. Did you go sing last night? You know how big a deal that was? Yeah, but you never do that. Whooping up. Y'all singing Happy Valley Youth Choir. Candace, it's a big deal, ain't it, hon? Pastors call us. We all bring the kids. We all bring the kids. You know what it is? They want some of what you got. If you ain't careful, your heart will get hard and you ain't even thankful for it. You'll get to the point where it's just what we're doing. It ain't you, it's the hand of God. Don't let the devil harden your heart. Don't take the things of God lightly. It's a big deal. I'd rather know use it some little church with a junky sound system that you can't hardly hear. Are y'all listening to me? I'd rather know you was there listening to some old-fashioned hacking, spitting preaching than I had you playing in the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir, bro.
It's a big deal. Some of you stood in the Sunday school class and you taught things of God. That is a big deal. You go to the bus and pick up little boys and girls, brought them to the house. That girl that got saved, somebody brought her. That's a big deal. Took the things of God lightly.
That's a big.
I'm still, man, I am still fired up about Sunday.
Amen.
Y'all don't realize.
Amen. You're right. Amen.
I sat right there and God said, you ain't preaching what you brought.
Amen.
God changed my message sitting right there. I sat right there while they singing. And I watched that little girl, Amanda, sitting right over there. Cheyenne Springs. I got to look at her and God could tear my heart out. Then I saw Miss Emily, Miss Hazel's daughter-in-law. First time they ever been.
Yeah.
She said she pulled out of her driveway and was going to take it to her church. And she pulled out, she started to turn left. And the Holy Ghost said, turn right. You're going to Happy Valley today. Never been here before. God was tearing my heart out. Boy, I was getting excited. I mean, the fruit was right there. I'm looking for a bumper crop this Sunday. Be careful. You don't get used to seeing God move. Ain't no big deal. What time we getting out here? I've seen this 1,000 times. Hallelujah! There's a danger in being blessed like we are.
Amen.
Because we just get so accustomed to it.
Yes, sir. Right.
Well, they probably still griping that they lost their day off. They done got calloused and hard. Life will cause you just to get hard. You see it over and over and over and over again to cause your heart to get hard. Then there's the results of a hard heart. Look down in verse number should have wrote it down. Look down in verse number verse number 48. And when he saw them, say the next word, toiling and rolling. Here's the results of a hard heart. Toiling and rolling. That word toiling, if I'm saying it right, toiling, that word implies, Brother Charles, work with no end. In other words, spinning your wheels.
Yes, sir.
You ever feel like you're that hamster in the cage? Running on that wheel and just going and going and going and going and going, but you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Me and a buddy of mine was on Lake Wise years ago. We were just teenagers. We had a junky old aluminum big-bottom boat with about a 25 horsepower heavy room motor on it and a trolling motor on the front. We was crack conditioned. We got way out there. I'm talking about a long ways from the bank. And that heavy room wouldn't crank. And we just stood up on that trolling motor and headed toward home, or the truck. All of a sudden, I got to noticing I was looking at markers on the land. Instead of getting closer to them, I was getting further away from them. Then we started paddling. And the wind kicked up. And those landmarks I'm watching are, we're not going forward. We're paddling this way, but we're going that way. Toiling and rolling. We're working, but we ain't getting nothing out of it.
Amen.
Somebody ought to get this.
Right. Amen.
Just because you're working, that don't mean nothing.
Right.
Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it? I'm having blast right now. Somebody's probably thinking, how long you going to preach? Until I get done. Yeah, you run your bus route Sunday. Did you enjoy it? What bus route that girl come in on? Anybody know? Carrollton route. Where's my Carrollton bus work? There she is. Did you cry all the way home? Boy, I'd have been tore up. Man, that don't excite you. You know what that is? That makes it worth getting up. That makes it worth doing it again and again and again. Hey, why do you do it this Sunday? Because of what God did last Sunday. Maybe there's another one out there. I'm asking you, hey, yes, you're working. Yes, you're toiling. Yes, you're rowing. But are you having a good time? Amen. Now, one of them boys looked up and saw him walking on the water and said, woo, come on, we're having a blast.
That's right.
I don't care who you are, you get a rub.
Yes, sir.
I've been there. And serving God's more of a chore than it is a joy. Toiling. There's a result from a hard heart. Toiling. Pretty soon, let me say it this way, you won't keep that up very long.
That's right.
Sooner or later, you'll quit. Why does the Lord give us joy? It's what keeps us going.
Right. Yes, sir.
It's like that carrot out in front of you. It's like that rabbit at the dog track. I've never been there, but Chris said they chase a rabbit already. Y'all listening? It's that thing the Lord dangles in front of us that He lets us get.
Amen.
He lets us get. Hallelujah. If it wasn't for joy, we wouldn't do nothing. I would. If I go fishing, if you don't catch something every now and then. They used to kid me at work. I'd lay out at least twice a month and fish. I'd call my boss, Tom, before he died. I'd tell him, Tom, I don't feel good. He said, catch one from me. Somebody said, preacher, did you go fishing yesterday? Nope, I went catching. Never left the house with fishing as my intention. I left to go catch something. I don't go hunting, I go killing. Y'all okay right there? Need the people, get over it. If it's brown, it's down. Hallelujah. That's a deer hunter praise, okay? I enjoy it. Somebody said, you don't hunt like you used to. Found something I like better. Yeah. Toil. Not only that, here's what happens. When you toil very long, you get tired.
That's right.
You get tired. The result of a hard heart is toiling and then tiredness. How much more is that? Here's the attitude sometimes. I think I'll find another church. You'll be hard there too.
That's right.
I'm not saying God can't lead people. I know He can. I don't think He does it as often as He expects.
Amen. That's right.
If you're hard here, you'll be. If you're hard here with 45 people that get saved, you'll be hard there with nobody.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying I'm no God saving people all over. I'm just. You understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
You just get tired. You just get tired. We've been remodeling our house for several months. I'm sick of it. My wife said, what are we going to do next? I said, not a cotton picking thing. Somebody said, you going to go on vacation? No, I'm going to go on a staycation. Sit in the living room and stare at it. Y'all all right? Pretty soon you just get tired.
That's right.
You're serving with God with a hard heart. You're not going to last very long because you're going to get tired. You know what happens when you get real tired? You quit.
Amen, sir.
Let's say it again. You quit. You reach a point where you say, I just can't do more. I've got to stop.
Amen.
I said every now and then we need a break. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm not talking about a break. I'm talking about quit. That's the cause of total growth. There's no joy, no gratification, just total growth. That's all there is. You're going to grow tired and you're going to quit. The result of a hard heart is total and road. Tiredness. In verse number 50, the Bible said they were troubled.
Right.
They were troubled. When the Lord showed up, they were troubled. That's odd, isn't it? When God shows up, some Christians get troubled.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. When the Lord shows up, I'm talking about in a tangible way. Where people's responded, coming to the altar, shouting, running a lap around the building. Some of y'all don't like that. I really don't give a rip.
Amen. Yeah.
I'd rather have them running a lap around here than some of these other places they could be. Y'all okay? Oh, it troubles people. Well, I'll just go for y'all. I don't know if he's in all your sleeping in church either.
That's right.
I don't know if he's in all your scowl looks and your negative remarks. I don't know if God's all up in that. I don't know if that was Holy Ghost inspired or not. I don't know if you're rolling your eyes again. I don't know if God is in there. I mean, as critical as you can. With all the love and all heart. You know what I'm saying? They can get trouble. I've been in meetings where the preacher got nervous. People start coming off. What do we do? Oh, man.
Yeah.
This thing in the program. Somebody stands up and testifies. They're like, oh. Trouble when God shows up. Me and Brother Shirley was in a meeting in Connecticut. Great preacher. Don't you think for 1 second I'm criticizing. I'm talking about a great preacher. One of the most sincere men of God I've ever known. I said his name. Some of you know who he is because you heard him. Not here, he's heard him. A bus kid came on the first night. Levi was there. Yeah, Levi was there. A bus kid came on the first night of the meeting. I can't remember if it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think it was, something like that. First night of the meeting, that little boy stood up and started testifying. He was about 16 years old. He started testifying, tears rolled down his face. Oh, pray for my mama. My mama's going to hell. He went on for 10 minutes talking about how his mama wasn't saved and she was dying and going to hell, and he didn't know if he'd ever be able to get her to come to church that night. As she says. We get to singing, and here comes that mama. The place goes nuts. I know boys standing back there, man, tears rolling down his face. It's getting out of the bank. And the preacher looks at me and Tony. What do we do? I said, preacher, you just mind the Lord. No. He said, that's why I got y'all here. He's being sincere. They didn't teach us this in Bible school. I don't know what to do when it gets like this. I said, here's what we do. God show up, people get trouble. Isn't it funny? Everybody wants you to get clean and sober. But everybody wants you to get full of the Holy Ghost. Let's don't carry this religious stuff too far. I'm glad you're doing good, but I don't want you to be no fanatic. Be a fanatic, man. I can just go whole hog crazy. Be a fanatic. I get worried when it ain't troubling some people. You all right?
Results of a hard heart. Toiling, tired, and trouble. The Lord shows up and they don't even know who.
Wow. There was a time in your life and my life when the things of God overshadowed the storm. When God was bigger than the boyfriend, girlfriend. Come on. When God was bigger than social media. There was a time when seeing somebody say, fired us up.
Amen.
Brother Shane sent me a text today. Said he saw a church sign. It said, tweet others as you would want to be tweeted. I don't even want to be tweeted. Amen. There's a time when the things of God is bigger than anything. The results of hope are the results of a hard heart. Then let me give you this and I'm done. I've been preaching too long. I have. I'm glad the Lord doesn't leave us there. There's a reason for a hard heart. There's a result of a hard heart. And God knows we all know it. We've all been there. If you've been saved any length of time. But thank God there's a remedy. There is a remedy. It's no shame in getting that way.
That's right.
But it is a shame in staying that way. And by the way, the longer you stay that way, the harder it is. You know, because the heart just gets harder and harder and harder and harder. You know I'm right. You allow so many things to go unchecked, undealt with, unforgiven. And they just pile up in his house and build the wall. And the bigger the wall, the harder it is to tear it in. They don't look up. Well, what do you do? Well, I'd say number one, cry out. The Bible said in our text, Brother John, that he came walking on the water and he would have passed them by. Would have. That's always amazing. If he was going to pass them by, what was he doing out there? He went out there because he saw them from the mountain where he's praying, toiling and roasting. He saw them in their hard-hearted condition. So here's what he does. I'm just going to walk up there and buy.
Come on.
See if they even notice something.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right.
And if they don't, I just walk on across the other side.
Amen.
So somebody does know that. You would have passed them by, but they cried out. They cried out. Listen, nobody has to tell me when my heart's hard. I know it.
Amen. That's right.
Surely we're self-conscious enough to know when our own heart's hard. Or are we so caught up in pointing out everybody else's? Hey! Ever heard anybody falling off or just say, "Oh God"?
Amen.
the last time you cried out for God to touch your heart? I don't think she'd mind me telling Sister Angie Noble sat in my office back here years ago. And she said she got so critical of her mama shouting and embarrassed by her mama shouting that she got hard. And she said, I can't even shed a tear in church one day. She sat in my office. She said, I don't feel nothing. She said, I can't go on like this. I don't feel a thing. I'm talking about the blankest look. She's one of my dear friends. I said, we're going to have to pray. We got down in my office, in that floor, and she begged God to soften her heart. The next Sunday morning, it got on. I'm sitting here looking back there at her, and I'm watching tears start rolling down her face. I said, here we go. All of a sudden, them hands went in the air, and she shouted like a banshee engine. Why? Because she cried out. God will let your heart stay hard if you want it. He'll let you dry up and roll away. We'll cry out, God, touch my heart again. I love that old song, touch me again, Lord. I said, the remedy for a hard heart. Cry out. Number 2, cheer up. Be of good cheer, he said. It's me. It's okay, boys. It's me. When the choir starts singing and the Holy Spirit starts moving and people start crawling up in the altar and people start getting born again, it's okay. It's just Him. Cheer up.
Yes, sir.
Instead of getting worried when God starts moving, we want to get excited. Like you do when your team starts winning.
Amen, bro.
Amen. I got to listen. Cry. Cheer up. Verse number 55. Carry on. Carry on. The Bible said they got out of the boat after seeing what they had seen.
Yes, bro.
They went about all the region and began to carry about in beds. They're going and getting people. You got to come see the Lord. I can't get up. That's all I'm going to carry. You ain't going to believe this. When's the last time you've been that excited? Amen. Cry out, cheer up, carry on. Talk about the remedy. Why don't you come in to praise Him? It's hard to stay hard when you shout. It's hard to stay hard when you worship. I'm talking about really worship. Not going through the motions. I'm talking about really heartfelt worship. That'll melt the old cold heart quicker than anything I know. Let's stand on our feet. Brother David, if we got prayer sheets, listen, I was going to give an altar call tonight. Fold that prayer sheet up, put it in your Bible, pray over it when you get home. But listen, somebody will get on this altar tonight and say, God, soften my heart. Or maybe this is preventative medicine. God, help me not to develop a hard heart. God, keep me tender. Don't let me get used to seeing you move and seeing you work. Just mind the Lord. Just find you a place. Let's pile up prayer.